Many Oklahoma students from 3rd grade to 12th grade are submitting their artwork to be judged at the 9th Annual Pioneer Cellular Smokin Red Dirt Arts Festival Youth Art Show. Pioneer would like you to meet some of those art students and their teacher, Greg McClure from Alva High School. The Pioneer Cellular Student Art Show Awards reception will be held Tuesday, April 10th at the Cherokee Strip Regional Heritage Center in Enid.
And it's what I tell the kids. Shows like the Pioneer Red Dirt Show is a win-win. Not only if they place, they bring home some financial gains. They get excited about what they do. They get excited about who they are and where they are. And they're excited because they helped out the art program, which in turn helps them again. So it's a win-win proposition for the kids for sure, and the school programs. It is a really nice, low-key place for my kids to go showcase their talents. And we go in, we deliver, it's not too far for their parents to go see, it's not too far for grandparents, for members of the community. They see the stuff that we're doing out of its natural setting, so that it's in Enid, and they're like, hey, I know that kid, or that's so-and-so's grandson. And it really makes a nice turnaround when you have people in the community that get to take part with what you're doing. The visual arts, like we were talking a while ago, it's the only program where they don't see what you're doing, they see what you did. They see the results. They don't see you on the basketball court. They don't see you on the football field. They don't hear you on stage. They see your end product. Art is something that they're never going to lose. I have kids come back 15, 16 years later. Hey, I want to buy a potter's wheel. Can you help me find, where do I find a kiln? How do I get started back up? Because I miss that so much. That was such a strong part of my life. And now that I'm getting to where I can, I want to, experience that again. So it's something they never leave. They never lose that self-expression once they gain it. And that's one of the things I tell my students. Every facet of our life, an artist has had a hand in it. From your cars you drive, from the boxes you get, from the advertising you see, from the television you watch, everything has had an artist's hand at one point or another. In order to be the program we need to be, these kids need to be working on a college level with college style rules. Okay, here's a basic broad assignment. This is what you need to be working on. And then the rest is left up to the student. So each potter has their own distinct style that they're encouraged to throw. Each painter works on their own style of painting. They get to work on their own strong suits. It speaks for itself. These kids really, they have taken off and they do amazing things for me. They really do. I have 30% of the school population.
Well, I came into the art program because I needed to do something, and I was like, oh, this sounds cool, because when I used to do it, I was a lot excited about it, and I liked to do it. So I didn't really do pottery when I was younger because I never had the chance. So we came out here the first semester, you get to try everything, and towards the end of the semester, you get to go do pottery. And so Mr. McClure taught us a little bit about it, and you get to try it for like a week. And I wasn't doing well with the actual pots, but I learned how to do plates, and that was really my strong suit, and I really loved being out there and getting dirty and doing something that I like to do. Yeah, I always get really excited once I finish my piece, especially the final product once it comes out of the bisque fire and then the glaze fire. I always love to see what I decided to do if I threw on some stained glass and see what happened with it. I just think it's an amazing finish to it. I think I'm going to really enjoy keeping it going and something that I can continue to do and get my mind off of everything if anything happens.
Feels pretty good. I actually kind of enjoy it. I like it. Gives me stuff to do, so really good. Well, I kind of came in here one day after second semester, and he said, I want you to go out and watch all of our older potters and watch how they throw. And I did, and I thought it looked like something that would be fun, so I kept trying and working, and I really liked it when I first started, and I really do still. I'm a little bit of, I either let the shape take the creation, or before I go out there, I try to have a mental picture in my head of what I really want to do. And I try to do that to the best of my ability and work with that. I think it's exciting going there and setting up, helping to set up. I get a chance to just look around and see everybody else's and everything. I like having the fact of competition. It makes me feel like I do a lot better. And I feel like it also reminds me I'm not at the point where I want to be where I'm with it all the time. So I think really whatever I choose to do, I'm probably going to end up having pottery with me the rest of my life and hanging with that, because that's just really fun and it's something I like to do. It's a lot of stress relieving for me too.
Well, I used to just draw on my own and just drawing in class, doing all my notes and stuff, but then I knew there was an art program here. It was great, and I was like, I want to try it. And so I did. I've been doing it all 4 years. Oh, I love it. We can give each other tips and tricks on each other's artwork, and it's just nice to have a good time and not be alone while you're doing your own thing. Well, I like to have one-on-ones with him. He likes to take one certain thing about somebody and push them towards their strong suit. And mine was 2D and painting. And I've pretty much just found my passion for it, and I enjoy doing it every day. Drawing and painting in all mediums. I'm going to OPSU, and I'm going to major in two-dimensional art and painting, and also major in music vocal performance. Oh, I love competition season. It's a rush. We get to do our paperwork and everything. We send out our stuff. It's really close, and I like it. I like that we can just drive out there for an hour, get to know everybody there at the show, and then come back. It's not very far, because usually our shows are like 3.5, 4 hours away, and this one's nice and close, and I really like it. Oh, that's a great feeling when you win something and you know that you can just give back anyway to your own art department, and you have money for supplies to go further in art.
When we were filling out our paperwork for what classes we wanted to take at the high school, and I heard that the art class was really awesome. I heard Mr. McClure was a really nice guy, and I said, what the heck, I'll just try it. I've never done pottery before. It was my first year, and I'm still here today. I think it was a way to express my feelings and also take up some of my free time, I did nothing else other than football, and that was about it. I did love going there and seeing all sorts of new people, and whenever you go to an art show, you meet just some of the coolest people, and you carry on some of those traits, and I think that's what makes you different as a person. It's a lot of how bad you want it, and I feel as some of the kids here that they spend a lot of time on their work, and they express a lot of it through that way. And I feel they want it. But I really think I might go into the pottery medium.
Well, since I started my freshman year, I didn't really know what pottery was until I asked my teacher saying what it actually is. And the first time I threw, I went too fast and ended up on the wall. And then, I just kept trying to make a good little pot, decent pot. After I made the little decent pot, I looked up on YouTube how to, make perfect pots instead, like, even better, bigger ones. And from that point on, I've been learning how to throw a lot better, moving my hands a lot better, centering. And then once I got to my sophomore, I was able to throw pots up to my arm, up to my elbow, sorry. I just feel free when I throw the pot. So it doesn't really matter what I want to throw a pot, like what type of pot I want to throw. It's more of my hands wants to throw. Like my hands wants to be in control of the clay, what shape does it want. Right now, I just want to go a lot farther. But as of another thing, like pottery might be one of my hobbies, just because like that's one thing I'm actually pretty good at. After high school, I'm still going to college, try to get some more education done. And after that, I'm going to be working for my dad in the oil fields.
So I started with watercolor when I was about 3rd grade, and I did some art classes. Well, then I kind of got out of art and only thought it was a hobby. But then I came into high school and I joined art my sophomore year, and he said I had to do something, so I did a scratch art because we had learned about that. It's a clay paper with black over the top of it. So you just scratch away the black and it like shows white. Well, it's fun doing the art, but then you get to see like everyone else's art, and that's always fun. And then just to like think that you might actually like win something, and just it is really exciting. I love art and stuff, but singing is truly my passion, so I'm thinking about going into music.
Well, I started freshman year, and I kind of started picking it up halfway through my freshman year after we got done painting. And I really enjoyed it because I kind of had to fail first to actually be good at it. So I started, and I flopped 4 or 5 times before I actually ever got one, and it was hideous. But then after that, I started to get them more developed, bigger pots, and then kind of got in a competition with my brother to see who would be better, because he was before me, and then I turned out being better than him. So
that was a big feeling, wasn't it?
It was pretty great. Well, for some people, they'll download a picture off the internet of a pot they liked or something, and they'll go off the baseline of that and kind of go from there on what they want to shape they want to have. But for me, I just start and throw random shapes, just whatever comes to mind, whatever kind of shape clay wants to make, I guess. I've got some pieces at home that I made earlier on in the year that I plan on bringing. Kind of stressful because you got to make the right piece. You got to make 4 or 5 different pieces and then decide which ones you want to take. And then it's kind of stressful because you don't know if you're going to win, if you're going to lose, how the judges are going to like your artwork. I mean, going to college in arts would be cool, but I'd like to keep throwing pots after I graduate. It is. I come in here 2 extra hours at the end of the day to throw pots. Get lost in it very quickly, and time flies when you're throwing pots.